So I've been uploading various videos on this channel so far of a few different home improvement projects that I've been doing, but they've been nothing compared to what's about to kick off tomorrow. So as you can see behind me is our current kitchen, which then leads onto the dining room over there. What's going to be starting tomorrow is all this is going to be gutted out. That wall is coming down, this floor is coming up, and we're going to have a completely new kitchen, which is going to be high gloss units, nice glittery quartz worktops, and that's going to obviously then lead through into this area, and then we're going to have sort of this area is like a family room, and this conservatory is finally going to be finished off with the flooring when the new floor is going to be laid throughout. So just months after unpacking all those boxes and finally getting our stuff into place in the various rooms of the house, we've then had to get a load of new boxes and pack up everything from these all these cupboards, so everything's empty now, ready for it to be all broken down and chucked into a skip. In fact, I'll show you the plan of what's going to be happening. Let's see, can you see this? Let's get it out of shadows. So that's the plan. I'm currently stood about there, looking that way, facing against this wall, which is currently running down there. That's going to be coming out, and that's going to allow this this kitchen to span across this whole area. So let's see, we'll start at the back door over there. So that's the back door. Next to it is going to be two tall larder units from floor to pretty much ceiling. Then that radiator is going to be moved onto that wall. It's going to be a long, thin, fancy designer radiator, because in that space there is going to be those units there. Like I mentioned, that wall's coming out, so that's going to leave space for an island in this area with a few stools. Oven's going, and instead there's going to be floor to ceiling units from there to about there, and then the fridge freezer is going to be sitting there, which is currently set out in the hallway. The rest of the kitchen we've made like a makeshift temporary kitchen setup up on the landing with the microwave and a few plates and bowls and things. That's all we're going to be able to live off for the next like 3 weeks. So fridge freezer is going to go in there, all built in with the units across the top. And then we're going to have the oven and things there, a bit of worktop area, and then that continues onto this back wall with a new sink, a replacement built-in dishwasher around the same area, obviously with much nicer fronts than these. And then since that wall's coming out, this is going to then continue straight through, and then that's going to come out, and if you can see that line I've drawn on the wall, that's going to come out, bend around that corner into there with a worktop just going around the corner. So there's going to be all kinds of mess. It's going to cost a fortune, and it's going to mean we can't have any family meals for about a month. But once it's all done, it'll look really nice. We've got the flooring all came a couple of weeks ago. We've got this like slate effects laminate to go down. We've got enough packs there to cover this whole conservatory area, the whole dining room area, and the whole kitchen area. So it's going to be quite a big job, but it's going to look pretty good when it's complete. I'll film some before shots now, and then I'll paste them in with some after shots at the end of this video. So we're a couple of days in, and the fellas have made some great progress so far. We've got the entire kitchen is being gutted, and that wall is gone. Look, it's gone. In its place there's a big steel that goes right from there and then spans all the way across to there. So you can see this space looks pretty big now. As you can see where the wall was between these two rooms. Yeah, that's all opened up nicely right through to the conservatory over there. So tomorrow it's all going to be plastered, and then when the kitchen's arrived later this week, going into next week, they'll be building up the various cabinets. So we have a big floor to ceiling section across there with the fridge freezer built in, and then that's going to continue where the sink is, and that's going to continue through there and wrap around that corner, and then we're going to have the the island in this little bit here. Big hole in the ceiling for where the extractor fan's going to come down on this section. Electrical points being brought through under the floor, and that's going to feed the hob. So we've gone for one of these big fancy induction hobs. In fact, all the appliances we've ordered through this company, they're all NEF appliances. They've got really good trade prices on them, like 50% off the retail price. So we've got some really high-tech gadgets and gizmos to go in this kitchen. You want to see how the kitchen is looking so far? Check it out. Plasters have done a great job of all these walls. It's still drying in places, as you can see. I'm not looking forward to doing all the painting over all this, especially with fresh plaster, which is going to take like multiple coats for it to all seal. We mess about with like milky paint, watering it down and splashing it everywhere. Ideally, it would be nice if we could have painted it and then our kitchen fitted, but it's all on schedule. But the actual kitchen was delivered the other day, and that's been set into place now. So it's the first time we've actually been able to see what it's going to look like with all these units in place, and it's looking good. So you can see the island in the middle. We've got the hob, the extractor fan's going to be coming down the centre of that. Big gaps where the fridge is going to be. I think I've told you all this before, but at least you can see how it's looking now. So by tomorrow, they reckon that all the doors will be on, so that'll be looking even better tomorrow. What else? And then the granite and marble people are coming to measure up on Wednesday, so they'll be getting the quartz worktops all cut and polished and everything. I think electrician's coming on Wednesday to wire up all the spotlights, so they'll be able to do a video where I'm actually in some light rather than having to rush it before the sun goes down. So it's definitely coming along, but there's still plenty to do, so cue more time-lapse videos. So the finish line is now in sight. There's just a couple more days left of work to do. On Wednesday, the granite and marble people will be coming to fit the quartz worktops, and then a couple of days later, on the Friday, the kitchen fitters are coming back just to fit the the hob and the sink, two things that are obviously needed the worktop to be able to be installed. I'll save the more in-depth tour when everything's fully installed, but I'll just give you a quick look round for now. You can see the big cooker hoods installed over the island. Everything's got its glossy panels and fronts on it. Two ovens are installed with these cool like slide and hide features, just like on Bake Off. And there's some cool like little things like this larder unit and like this fancy corner unit. I'm getting a bit carried away with this tour, so we're going to save all this to for the final reveal. But I've done a lot of standing around watching over the past couple of weeks, so it's now my turn to get my hands dirty and do some hard work, because I've got to paint all this. So I got myself a couple of tubs of paint, just white bare plaster paint. I've got all these walls to do, all this ceiling. all in there, everywhere. So plenty to go on with. So let's go and get my paintbrushes out. So today is exactly 1 month since I recorded that first video showing you around the old kitchen, and it's just about ready for the final reveal. There's a few more finishing touches that we need to do. We need to finish painting the skirting boards, the door frames, that new door which is over there in the corner to the utility room, and we need the furniture for this little family area. We've been looking at some sofas. We just need to choose one and get it delivered. So at the moment it's quite echoey, but once the a rug and the sofa and coffee table and things and a little chair or whatever we've got planned is all in, that should hopefully soften this area a bit. So let me show you around the kitchen. I'm guessing you've already seen the little before and after shots that I posted up on this video, as well as obviously the progress. So where should we start? Let's start at the door. First things first, we see the radiator from that wall has been removed. That wasn't something we were initially planning to do, but we thought as the work's been done, the kitchen fitter guys reckon that this radiator would be more than enough to heat this area. And after a bit of fiddling around with the valves, it is heating up nicely. Although we do have a plinth heater down there, which we can flick on and pump some extra heat out if need be. So we freed up that wall because we weren't sure where to have the sofa, whether to have it on that wall or both, or one on that one and the chair in that one. I think we've decided to just have a sofa in that area after all, just a two-seater, and leave that one free for all kinds of like family pictures and stuff on there. We didn't really need to get rid of the radiator after all, but it's cleaned it up a little bit, just leaving this fancy designer radiator, which looks pretty good. So you probably remember there used to be a wall running from, there used to be a door there, and then the wall used to carry on down here to there. So you saw the big steel beam being put in. That's all finished off nicely, and that's opened this area up into this like massive space, which flows from this little family room area through into the kitchen. So the main thing is the big island in the middle. We've got a couple of stools that we can use to eat my breakfast and my lunch and things. And that's got the nice cooker hood in the middle, which makes a nice little feature. We've got some fancy appliances like this Neff induction hob. We're originally going to go with a gas hob, but the designer at the kitchen outlet informed us about the magic of induction hobs and gave us a demo where he boiled some water in about 60 seconds and showed us how you can like actually touch the things, and this cool to touch because of the magical magnetic force that it uses. So everything's Neff. We've got Neff induction hob, Neff hood, 2 Neff ovens, as I've shown you before, with these like bake-off style slide and hide things, which is pretty cool. Neff microwave over there. We've got our fridge freezer finally installed in place with the ice and water things finally plumbed in. We've had that fridge freezer since pretty much after we moved in, but we've only been able to use it as like obviously like a fridge. We couldn't have it plumbed in where it was positioned before. Obviously knowing we were going to have this kitchen done, so that's all installed now. All these units have got the fancy soft close thingies like that, and they've also got some like interior interior drawers that that come out for all cutlery and stuff like that. Built-in dishwasher hidden away in there that I need to empty from last night's meal. Nice granite sink, and we've got these cool taps which have got the spray function. Let's see what else. So the main thing I guess is this quartz worktop. It's called Santa Margherita Pewter. It's got a really nice, like glittery finish to it. It ended up being over budget. We went and looked at the range, and the person we were meant to be seeing wasn't there, so we ended up looking at the samples, just basing it on what we liked the look of, not knowing the prices. And obviously we chose the ones that was like the most expensive we could have possibly chosen. But we tried looking elsewhere, and we tried like looking at loads of other ranges, and we didn't see anything that kind of lived up to this one. So we ended up splashing out and going with this nice glittery grey effect, which looks really nice with all these lights. So let's see what else. We've got these cool little larder pull-out things either side of the fridge. We ended up going for a new door. While that was being done, we also got a new door on the front. So now we've got these like modernish style ones with the square windows, and that's grey on the outside, which looks pretty cool. Reason being, when it was plastered, the extra few mil that was added to these walls was going to interfere with the latch, and it was inevitable that if I'd closed the door without pulling a handle down, which I often never do anyway, I would have gouged a big thing at it wall. So we just got some new doors. We were planning on getting new doors at some point anyway, because that was the original wooden door, and it swelled and didn't really shut properly, and it wasn't very it let drafts through. And same with the front door actually, and obviously not as secure as the modern PVC doors. So we got those new doors fitted with the nice newer snap-proof locks. So that's boosted security a little bit more. Floor, that's another major part to this. We've got this nice slate effect floor running all the way through kitchen, family room, then into the dining room conservatory, which I'll show you in just a second, because that's finally finished now. We had the roof done back in November, and we just left that kind of half completed until this kitchen work had been done. So let's head through there now, and I'll show you what this is looking like finally. So we've got our table and chairs in here now. Fitted this lamp yesterday, this light fitting. This originally came in white. We couldn't find one in black, so I just painted it. It's quite a nice finish on there. And we've got a nice like big vintage style LED bulb in there. So I think you've seen all this before, all the roof that's been put on this conservatory, which regulates its temperature a lot better now. This is the first time you'll have seen it been painted, because I had a mammoth task of painting all these walls from bare plaster as well as the ceilings. Fun fact, I actually painted all this in one colour. Then we decided that after I'd done it all, we decided that we didn't actually like the colour too much. It didn't match, so I did it all over again, which was a bit stressful, but it's looking good now. It's all done. So yeah, this like I said, we experienced this dining room for the first time really last night with a nice family meal with both sets of parents. It's looking pretty cool with these LED lights in the step, just to make a feature out of that. So we're really impressed and really happy with the final result. Big thanks to Sheffield Kitchen Outlet for doing all the work, especially Scott and Brand, the two kitchen fitters. Just can't wait now to get some sort of sofa and get this little area decorated, and then it'll be all finished off. Well, that's after we've done all the painting of the door frames and the skirting boards and everything. I'm guessing you can't really see it too much on the camera, but there's some splodges that need tidying up, and these are all new skirting boards are just primed, so then you finish it off, as well as the door frame on this new door. You get the idea of the main kitchen. Hope you enjoyed this video of the making of process. Like I said, they did a great job, and obviously seeing through the rest of the video, the transformation it went through. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.